nearly 2 years ago.
The former officer is white. The man he killed is black, and the family of the man killed and their attorneys say the only reason for the acquittal is because all 12 members of the Hunt County jury are racists. There was added security outside the courthouse, and news cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom for the trial. The arrest affidavit says back in October 2020, when Wolf City police officer Shaun Lucas responded to a call about a fight at a gas station, he encountered 31-year-old Jonanthan Price. When Lucas told Price he was going to detain him on suspicion of public intoxication, Price resisted and ignored verbal commands. The court document says Lucas warned Price he would be tased if he did not comply, and that Lucas used a stun gun on Price that was not fully effective, and that Price appeared to grab the taser away, and then Lucas shot him. Body camera video was played in court but has not been released to the public. Jury deliberations lasted about 6 hours.
We're relieved that the system worked. I believe the evidence shows that he reached for the taser and grabbed the taser.
On the other side of things, there was a perception that there was a mountain of evidence that convicted him. What do you think it was that couldn't get the jury there?
The mountain of reasonable doubt. At the end of the day, the question is whether his actions were reasonable or not, and the mountain of evidence showed that he was reasonable.
It makes every black citizen in Hunt County less safe. And it was delivered by a jury, not surprisingly, that didn't have a single black person on it. A jury, not of his peers, decided that his life didn't matter. I honestly think it comes down to an inherent bias in favor of law enforcement in rural Texas.
Do you think the makeup of the jury had something to do with that?
Absolutely. There was not one person that looked like me. There was not one person that looked like my father. There was not one person that looked like Lee Mary. Period. So what does that tell you?
The officer, Lucas, was fired from the Wolf City Police Force days after the shooting. The Price family attorney says they will pursue this case with the U.S. Justice Department.
Okay, so y'all just heard that right here, and this is more so of an update to a story that I spoke on a couple years ago. This is crazy how time flies by and how much stuff happens between one point and another, where you had a black man by the name of Jonanthan Price who was deleted by this PC cop that you see right here, or a former PC cop that you see right here, whose name is Shaun Lucas. And you just heard right there where they say he was found not guilty pretty much of anything during his trial. And they said the jury was pretty much all PC. Like that jury of your peers thing, we all know what they mean when they say that. And they definitely gave him exactly that, a jury of his peers. Now, when I first found out about this story a couple years ago, I was one of those people that kind of, and this is what made me stop doing the whole jumping to conclusions thing, and went out on a limb when it came to talking about Jonanthan Price and saying, oh, here we go again. Another one of these incidents. And this is like coming off of the cusp of, George Floyd and whatnot. But then I had to go back and retract what I said about Jonanthan Price, because a Facebook post that he made, and I'm going to pull it up now, came about on June 15th of that year. And what's crazy is mere days later, or not too soon after, he's dead. Now I'm going to read to you what this says, because some of you may forgot about this. It says, with all the tension and animosity going on with race and the police, one time I'm on the fence as Lil Wayne, with him saying a white cop saved his life and hasn't been too vocal based off of experiences. I was raised by the Malones and Woodruffs in my community, in my hometown, for a large amount of my youth. Was my second family, then still are in 2020, if I have to say anything. The amount of food fed to me, money they spent on me outweighs any BS about race or color right now. I have family that's never done a damn thing for me or supported my business ventures, and they're my blood. They will forever be a million in my book, locked, and they know who they are. They're to blame for my countryside and addiction to white women. Not complaining one bit. There were times I should have been detained for speeding, outstanding citations, and outdated registration, dozing off at a red light before making it to my garage downtown Dallas after a long night out. I passed the sobriety test after leaving a bar in Wiley, Texas, by two white cops, and still let me drive to where I was headed. And by the way, they considered Wiley, Texas to be very racist. And then he put a confused emoji. I never got that kind of energy from the popo. Not saying black lives don't matter, but don't forget about your own or your experiences through growth or waking up. Hashtag God's plan, hashtag elevate movement, hashtag stay woke. When this got exposed, and then you learn, and you go back to him being deleted by Shaun Lucas, who was a PC cop, the same ones who he's upheld in regard, took him out. It was like, wow, talk about a complete 360-degree type of thing going on here. Like, it was crazy. It's almost like this guy bragged about his own experiences when it came to PC cops and PC people in general, and he got taken out by them same exact people. See, he got too comfortable. Jonanthan Price got too comfortable with them, and he found out the hard way that not everyone's going to be okay with their level of comfort around him. Is it unfortunate that, yes, another black man lost his life at the hand of these race soldiers? Of course. But at the same time, look at how he was talking and moving online and most likely offline. Like, really look at what he said. He literally elevated PC people. He pedestalized them and then put down black people, his own family, might I add. Like, these weren't just everyday black people. This was his own family that he was talking about. Where does he say right here? I was raised by the Malones and Woodruffs in my hometown for a large amount of my youth. Was my second family then, and they still are in 2020. If I have to say anything, the amount of food they fed to me, money they spent on me outweighs any BS about race or color right now. I have family that's never done a damn thing for me or supported my business ventures, and they are my blood. Now look at him. Well, the only way you can look at him now is by going to his tombstone, to his grave. That's the only way you're going to be able to look at Jonanthan Price now, because you can't stare him in the face. And I'm not saying that to be a facetious, but it's the facts. He did all of this, buck dancing online, came across one that wasn't going to go for his BS, and now he's up out of here. They cleared him off the table. And got the typical, usual thing of being found not guilty behind their crimes. I can't really say that I feel too bad. This is one of those instances where, like, I'll completely wash my hands of the whole situation. And I remember, because I believe Tariq had posted this up on his page back in 2020 when it happened. And it was posted October 4th. So it wasn't, I don't think it was too much shortly after he posted this, but you can go back and find anything nowadays. Because like I said, when you put it on the internet, it's out there forever. Screenshot, as you can see, is a thing. And when you factor all of that in, it's like, wow. Kind of reminds me of that black woman. I forgot what state it was in. I believe her name was Dominique Clayton. I believe I did a video about her, and she was messing around with that PC cop who was married, by the way, taking him around her family and showing him off and saying they're going to be married and start a family and all types of stuff like that. Meanwhile, online, she's literally doing bed wench babble all over social media, saying how niggas ain't shit, and and Zaddy is God and all types of stuff like that. And what happened? Zaddy took her up out of here. And they wanted us to feel bad for her too. No, we pulled her receipts, and her receipts, in my opinion, were probably way worse than his, because this is the only one we could find of him. Hers, she literally had a shrine of anti-black men hate on her page, and Zaddy worship on there at the same time, and probably never together. So this is the cost of off-code behavior. And those who are off code, don't think that you can't get your wake up call. Because some people like Jonanthan Price and Dominique Clayton, they don't survive their wake up call. Their last breath was their wake up call. And like I said, when it comes to the wake up call, it doesn't always have to necessarily be to the person that it's intended for. It could be those around them. But this one hit hard, because this one took them out. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Be sure to hit that bell twice to be notified. If the bell does not work for any reason, I upload my videos in the Premiere style, which means you can click the notify me button and you should be notified that way. The links will be down in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.